all those accounts, all right? And if you don't get it after this particular account or this experience that this sister had, then hey, it's safe to say that you probably aren't the men of the Lord, okay? Because it's too evident at this point. All right, so this is the message, and I'm not going to disclose the sister name. I'm pretty sure that other sisters that's familiar with this sister will probably know who she is, but I'm not going to disclose her name because that's it's not really important. And on top of that, she mentioned like, well, if you could just give an account, you ain't got. I told her that I wouldn't put our information out there, just out of safety and respect for the body, and just for peace of mind. So it says, I'm in a doctor's office, and this is the message she sent me. She said, I'm in a doctor's office, and the receptionist told me to put my right hand on this device. She said, I asked, what's the purpose? I've never saw this before. No, she said, I'm going to read it again. She says, I'm in a doctor's office. The receptionist told me to put my right hand on this device. I asked, what's the purpose? I've never saw this before. She looked at me and said, she looked at the sign on the wall, and she said, we're elevating it to new times. And she said, a fucking old ass Eve, shaking my head. She said, it keeps record of my medical records. And she said, tears came to her eyes. And she asked what was wrong. And she said she just shook her head. And then she says in caps, great millstone are the men of the Lord, damn it. Call Halayim Laya, how about Shimi, how shy? Time is running out. So this is the message she sent me. And she sent me a voicemail as well. So without further delay, I'm going to play the account of what the sister experienced, and now we're going to get into the precepts. And, hey, we in them times, man. This thing is getting ready to go down.
Shalom, right? Shalom. So I wanted to break it down to you how it exactly went. So I went to see a cardiologist because I have to have the surgery for my ankle the end of the month. So they want to, dot all their I's, cross their T's, and before they clear me. So I've never been to this cardiologist. So I'm giving them my ID and all my insurance information. So the receptionist takes all my stuff. She scans it, as usual. And so she's pointing as she's talking to one of her coworkers, telling me to do whatever she was instructing me to do. So I'm thinking she's telling me to pick up the key, the pin pad to put my signature, etc. So she goes, no, I'm sorry. You have to place your hand over the device, your right hand. So I looked at it and I said, oh, and I'm like confused. I said, so I'm confused. And I'm like, what is this for? It's almost like, you get fingerprinted and whatever. That's what I was thinking. I was going to use my index finger or something. She said, oh, you never did this before? Look at the sign right there. So I read the sign. And I'm telling you, I just got so overjoyed, so excited. The first thing I thought about was like, oh my goodness, Apostle Tahar and the men on down been saying this for years. Like, oh, this is the truth. I'm just so happy. And like, she's looking at me. She's thinking that I'm smiling because she's expressing how I know times are evolving, etc. And I'm like, yes, they are, And of course, I'm not going to say anything to her because, that wasn't the place and time for it. But she was already sold anyway. But it was just, it was beautiful. And I was just like, I got to post this. I got to send this because you're the only brother that I contact through, what's going to be in that. Oh, and what I thought about, too, was because she said that it stores all your medical information, your ID, your medical records. It stores it in your right hand. You can't tell me that's not spiritual. I got to calm down because what? Like how they don't see this, but I know everybody ain't going to get it.
You heard she said that it stores all the medical information in your right hand. So when John the Revelator, or the Apostle John, when he saw this vision on the island of Patmos, he saw these things going down in the spirit. Okay, to show you that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai doesn't make mistakes. He's very meticulous on his prophecies and when the prophets reveal these things. You have to understand that 1900 years ago, when he wrote the vision, or when he wrote out the prophecy, you have to understand that they used different verbiages than what they do today. Okay, they didn't have a such thing as RFI. They didn't have radio frequency identification 2,000 years ago. Okay, so he described it as a mark. Okay, because when you go into the Greek word mark, it goes into charagma, which means to etch or put something under the skin. So he was using a terminology as to what he saw 2,000 years ago. So for you naysayers and you scoffers, you scorners out there, man, if you can't see that this is getting ready to be the new norm of this society, then I mean, the safe, like I said earlier, it's safe to say that you're probably not the man of the Lord. Because like when you look at like Esau, what he's doing, he's moving at warp speed, all these cyber attacks, all these outages, and the video that I did earlier on this guy Cotton Swab, he basically stated that the whole 2020 ordeal was to bring about a new change in a global setup, okay, which is gonna include this MOTB. Okay, you have it written in books. Behold a pale horse.